Hello, hello. It's day 6 of NaNoWriMo. As you're watching this and as I'm recording it, we are having a slight pause for technical difficulties on my NaNoWriMo diaries because I have arrived at my Airbnb and I recorded some simple footage yesterday and thought that I would just edit it together today with the intro and the music and everything. My computer is not having it. So I knew that this computer is not meant to be an editing kind of computer. I bought it more to act as a Chromebook, something that I could use that would be really simple, have a long battery life, be really lightweight. And then I had plans to buy maybe another gaming laptop, but I need to do more research, haven't figured it out. So I don't currently have a heavy duty editing laptop. Did a little Googling, it said it would be fine. So I thought I'll be fine. I didn't have time to test it. And so I have spent 2 hours this morning trying to get my video edits to work on my little Samsung Galaxy Book. It's not working. And I felt heard this little voice inside me that said, Sarah, you are not here and taking this time to yourself to worry about video edits. No one will mind if you delay the vlog or just do quick little coffee chat updates. So I am here to work on my book and things are going very well. So I'm excited to get back to it. So I'm just gonna give you a quick update. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, no edits, no lighting. The sound isn't great because this is a very high ceiling. So this is how we roll with it. This is how we continue to create content even amongst challenges. But I will have a full vlog for you at least Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Thursday since I'll be home late Wednesday afternoon. Probably Thursday will be the full writing retreat vlog, and for the next few days, instead of a vlog, you'll just get these quick little updates from me with no intro or anything else, no music, nothing fancy, and I hope that's going to be fine. And I know that'll be just fine for all of you. So let's talk about how things have been going, what my goals are, what my plans are, and where I am actually. So number one, I have decided to travel only a little over an hour away from my home to come to Waco, Texas. So this is a city I have been dying to really visit. We have passed through Waco on our way down to like Kalahari Resort and Austin several times. I went to Austin last year during the NaNoWriMo diaries, but I never actually got to stop in Waco. And one of the main reasons I've wanted to come to Waco is because of Magnolia. Chip and Joanna Gaines, I have been a huge fan of Fixer Upper. I am an HGTV kind of girl and I love their show. I love their family and I love the idea of the fact, like if you go back to some of the earlier Fixer Uppers, you see Joanna dreaming about someday getting these silos, and then you watch their progression of being able to buy them and then turn them into a market. And now here in Waco, you have the Magnolia Bakery, Magnolia Press Coffee Shop, the silos, which are filled with Christmas things right now. And I thought it would be fun to bring you all along. So in my probably pretty long, potentially 2-part vlog coming up later this week, I'll bring you along with me to see all the Magnolia goodness, and it's going to be super fun. Also, of course, I'm here just to find a nice, safe place to write, and I found a wonderful Airbnb, and so I am excited to spend a couple of days here. I've got 3 total nights, so I got here yesterday around 5 p.m., ordered dinner, got groceries, and I started writing somewhere around 7 or 8 p.m., finally got my writing in. I went to bed around 1, slept in till 8:30 this morning. Ooh, as a mom, that never happens. So that was really, really nice to just get 7.5 straight hours of sleep. Nobody woke me up. No little pitter patter of feet. Mommy, none of that. It was so great. And so I got super rested. I spent some time working on edits this morning. Nice cup of coffee, and then ran into those computer issues. Just thought, you know what? I am not going to worry about this. And that feels very good to know that I have this amazing community behind me that is going to support whatever I choose to do. And I just love y'all so much. So I did 6 writing sprints last night. What I did is I had decided earlier in the week to just start a NanoEdit file. Previously, I was editing my work and adding new words into my like just main editing file in Google Docs. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to start one that's specifically keeping track of what I'm doing during Nano in terms of the edits I'm doing. So I just started a brand new Google Doc called NanoEdits and started pulling things over, reading through, editing as I go. And then I'm really focused. I'm not trying to make everything perfect yet, like final edit pass on some of these things, because some of these chapters are going to need some significant changes even next, not complete rewrites, but just some, I guess I shouldn't say significant changes, just tweaks. And I'm not worrying about that here because I feel like I could get lost in the minutia of those details, and that I can do that next week. Here, what I want to get is just raw words as much as possible. So I did 6 actual writing sprints for the chapters that I am actually going to change. So let me show you something real quick. Let me pause this. Okay, so I had mentioned the other day that I just took 4 basic note cards and I wrote down just a mini caption or a mini summary, I guess you would say, of each chapter and what happens in them. Then I highlighted the chapters that need complete rewrites, like total from scratch. And when you're looking at Acts 1 and 2, it's mostly just a handful of little things. But by the time you get to Act 3, it's mostly rewrite. So what I started doing last night was just in my NanoEdits file, going through, moving a chapter from one old edit file to the new one, reading through it, fixing any little things, leaving myself a little note or comment on things I want to fix later in my final round of edits. And then during the actual sprints, going through and filling in the gaps of those chapters. And my goal was to get through Acts 1 and 2 in terms of all the little highlighted chapters that needed to be filled in, so that starting today I could work on the meat of that Act 3 and so on. So here's how I did. Sunday, I have all of this I'm tracking in here because I didn't want to bring my big Nano planner, it's just heavy, but I also have it up on the wall. I'll be sharing that in my Instagram stories if you want to check me out over there. But I did 6 sprints and I ended up with an average of about 800, I think it was 870 words per sprint was my average for the 6 sprints, which is so good. And everything that I was hoping for, it was coming fast. And that for me is the benefit of taking the time to go through and decide exactly what's happening in the chapter. And also, you know, drafting sometimes for me can be really hard because I think I have an idea of what's happening in the story, but I'm not 100% certain. And then I'm trying to figure my way through, so the writing is a lot slower. By the time I get to this level of edits where I know the story and it's in my head like a movie, writing comes fast. So that's why the words are so quick this time. And I wrote 1,000 words my first sprint, 600 something my second sprint, 961, 606, 934, and then 1,006 was my last sprint. And on top of that, I got to 47,003 words in my manuscript in terms of that round of edits. Some of that came before this trip and some of it happened last night. Quite a bit of it happened last night. And again, it's not final, like tweaked, polished, but it's close. So I'm feeling really good about that. I made it to the midpoint and I actually made it one scene past the midpoint into Act 3. So we're getting there, but now today is the hard work, right? So what I like to do when I am trying to figure out my goals for how much I can write, you all know me, I like to have milestones I'm trying to reach. I like to have outcomes that are clear. This doesn't work for everybody. Some of you might just wake up, enjoy your time, and just write as long as you want. I like to write in sprints, and I like to have very clear targets because that tends to keep me focused. If I don't set a goal of how many sprints I want to write in a day, then I might end up wasting time on the internet or whatever. But if I say, okay, my goal was 15 sprints today, and it's 5 p.m. and I'm sitting at 5, I know for the next 5 hours, I have to be on it, right? So for me, it just gives me that clarity of here's the outcome I'm trying to hit, here's the goal. It gives me a little checklist to work off of, and that makes me feel empowered. So I sat down this morning and I kind of made a little goal chart for myself. And I know at this point, I don't have my watch on. I know at this point, I'm gonna start writing sometime probably after noon. I have a meeting at 1. I may end up skipping it because my morning went off the rails, but we'll see. I also need to run by Best Buy because I forgot my laptop charger. It's like one thing after another, but it's all good. It's pre-ordered. I just go and pick it up. And then I want to go out to maybe the Magnolia coffee shop or something like that this afternoon, but I'm going to hope for 16 sprints today, which 16 sprints, each one takes half an hour. So that's still 8 full hours of writing. But if I start at, let's say, noon, and I do a couple sprints, take an hour break for my meeting, do a couple more sprints, I can get those 8 hours of writing in before 1 a.m. and then still get a good night's sleep and get up tomorrow and still do another 8+ hours of writing. I know, again, too, that sometimes sharing this can trigger like feelings of comparison, like I could never write for 8 straight hours, or, sharing these numbers, whatever. Like we just tend to, human nature, compare ourselves to each other. But I want to say that I'm only sharing this to show you what's possible, and also to give you another view of somebody who is really what Becca Syme calls a phoenix, or somebody who is a binge writer. So for me, it takes me a long time to come up with what the story is going to be like, because if I could write this fast all the time and not have to sit and ponder about the story for 6 months, I would be coming out with books left and right, but I can't. It takes a lot of buildup. In this case, it's been a year of buildup to get to this point where I'm hopefully going to write 20,000 words or 30,000 words in 3 days. But that's just how my brain works. When I get into a story and it feels so clear to me, the best thing for me to do is to get away from all the other things that are going on in my life and just sort of portal into the story, become a part of it, and just stay there for as long as I can, as if my mind is existing in that world instead of our own. And so I think that's part of the message that's coming from this computer not fully working in terms of the edits, because it's like, okay, that's what you're here for, is to portal into the story. So let's do it. That is my update. I'm in Waco, Texas. I will have a full vlog of these 3 days. It'll probably be a long vlog and it'll be super fun of everything I'm doing. But in the meantime, I will be back at you for the next couple of mornings in just a short 10-15 minute video like this, and drinking my coffee, hanging out with you. Let me know how your word count is doing. There will be no fancy outro or anything else for this. We're just gonna say goodbye, and I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. Again, don't forget to come follow me at instagram.com/heartbreathings if you want to see some updates as we go. So otherwise, I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye.